close my tired eyes, and I need to feel warm. I've been holding my own. Come to me when the wind is loud, the night is cold. The light up by my window, white as snow. Take me to a place where I could drift away, somewhere that I know I could never go on my own, with shapes so undefined. I recognize, and time is just a guide. So this for mine. Suddenly I see faces in the breeze, people in this world who might think of me. Start, comfort in the heart, safety even when things start to fall apart. Take me to a place, somewhere that I know I could never go on my own. Take me by the hand, show me all again. Thought this whole thing could end. Now when I'm falling asleep, a rush of warm memories protected for the things unseen, gently slide me to my incandescent dreams.
Good evening and welcome to our celebration of the class of 2020. This is a graduation unlike any before. On Monday, March 9th, the class of 2020 gathered for their capstone course. 2 weeks of training focused on preparation for residency, culminating in match day. Little did we know at that time, but the capstone represented the last time the class of 2020 would be together. We all share in the loss of not having the chance for an in-person celebration with our graduates. Our education home, the Health Education Campus, has been transformed into an overflow hospital. I want to acknowledge the tireless efforts of healthcare workers at the Cleveland Clinic and across the world as we continue to fight the COVID-19 pandemic. In addition to celebrating our graduates, this is a time to acknowledge the many people who support our students and our medical school. First, family and friends of the graduates. We would give you a standing ovation if we could. In addition, Jim Young, our Chief Academic Officer, Jamie Stoller, the Chair of the Education Institute, our partners at CWRU, Dean Pam Davis, Interim Vice Dean for Education Steve Riccinati, Associate Dean for Curricular Affairs Amy Wilson-Delfoss, and all of the Society Deans. Our partnership with CASE is a source of great strength and collaboration. Within CCLCM, we have a great team to support all of our students. We have a dedicated faculty in both basic and clinical science who work tirelessly on behalf of our students and our school. Two of our faculty, Dr. Richard Drake and Dr. Neil Mehta, will receive the prestigious Kaiser Teaching Awards this year. Our administrative team, which supports our curriculum, admissions, student affairs, and IT, led by our director, Marcy Party. our physician advisors who provide mentorship for our students over their 5-year journey. Student support, led by Dr. Christine Warren, we have enhanced our efforts around diversity and inclusion, wellness, and career counseling. And finally, our leadership team. I'm deeply grateful for the support and wisdom of this group. This is also a time to honor Mrs. Norma Lerner. Norma and her late husband, Al, have been our greatest supporters. Norma takes great pride in our school and our students. Although we could not be together in person, Norma wanted to share this personal letter with you. Congratulations on your graduation from Cleveland Clinic Lerner College of Medicine. Your many years of hard work and late nights have brought you to this special moment. I knew that you were up for the challenge when I met you during your first year, and I have no doubt that you will be highly successful in the next chapter of your remarkable journey. I truly am sorry that today's world does not allow us to celebrate together. Along with your family, friends, and professors, I also have been anxiously awaiting your graduation to share how very proud I am of you and to commend you for your resiliency and adaptability, especially during the past few months. When you first arrived at Cleveland Clinic, you dedicated your life to the rigorous education and research opportunities presented to you. You should be extremely gratified to know that you achieved the mission we set before you: become a physician researcher trained in innovative clinical research and compassionate patient care. As a doctor, you are now the bridge between the latest clinical discoveries and new ways of treating patients, which is so very important during this unprecedented time. My late husband, Al, strongly believed in the good work done at Cleveland Clinic. He felt that our family's gift to establish this school would help to further reinforce these efforts. He once said that Cleveland Clinic is the crown jewel of this great city, and that this program would attract the best and brightest students from around the world. He was right. My family and I have been humbled to witness your success throughout your time here. Everyone at Cleveland Clinic is so proud and grateful for what you have done. We know that you will continue to do incredible things for generations to come. Congratulations again to each and every one of you. Thank you, Norma, for that beautiful letter and for your continued support of our school and our students. We all share in your congratulations and celebration of this wonderful class of 2020. Stepping back in time, here's a picture of the class of 2020 on their first day of medical school. How far you have come in 5 years. You have developed a wealth of knowledge and skills in patient care. You've made significant contributions in research. You have volunteered in our school and the community. We have been enriched as a school for having you with us the last 5 years. Now, as you move into residency programs, let me highlight 2 important lessons that we have learned from our current situation. The first is the critical need for teamwork in healthcare. Teamwork is an essential feature of CCLCM. Medical school here is not about competing, but collaborating. At the Cleveland Clinic, we have seen teams come together like never before to respond to the pandemic. And our students have been critical members of these teams. Students have participated in care of patients through telemedicine, research of COVID patients, and creation of online education modules. The core mission of the Cleveland Clinic, patient care, research, and education, are embodied in these examples. The Cleveland Clinic is nearing its 100th year anniversary, coming up in February of 2021. The seeds of the Cleveland Clinic were sown on the battlefields of France in World War I. In that setting, our founders collaborated in the care of patients devastated on the front lines of war. In his journal on August 27, 1918, one of our founders, George Cryle, reflected that success caring for patients in the war rested on being able to think and act as a unit. To this day, to act as a unit is a core tenet of our organization. We recognize we are incredibly effective when we work in teams. A second lesson to be drawn from our current situation is the critical role of trust in healthcare. Traditionally, physicians have gained the trust of their patients by providing scientifically grounded medical care in the context of an individual, caring relationship that places the highest value on the welfare of the patient. The reliance on physicians as sources of trusted medical information is being challenged by the explosion of information to which patients are exposed, most of which has not been scientifically vetted. The solution to this challenge must go beyond simple attempts by experts to correct misinformation. As physicians, we must partner with other trusted members of society to help deliver messages based on the best scientific knowledge. We have seen a great example of this as the Cleveland Clinic has partnered with local and state government officials to deliver the best information about COVID-19. Another challenge to trust comes from the fact that patients increasingly experience healthcare as a relationship with a large organization as opposed to an individual physician. In this context, physician behavior is critical. Trust is built with physician empathy, honesty, and the patient feeling as if those caring for them see them as unique individuals. Additionally, we must help our patients understand that care is increasingly being delivered in teams. We must develop best practices and accountability for our teams that create trusting environments. You, the class of 2020, are uniquely positioned to contribute to these efforts. You have spent 5 years in an environment that relies on teamwork and trust. As you move on to residency, take advantage of your experiences at CCLCM to champion teamwork and trust. And now it gives me great pleasure to introduce our CEO and President, Tom Mihaljevic. Dr. Mihaljevic has focused on Cleveland Clinic not as a collection of individuals, but a team of teams. This approach has served us especially well during these trying times. Under Tom's leadership, the Cleveland Clinic has championed care of patients, the best place to receive health care; care of caregivers, the best place to work in health care; care of our organization, treat the Cleveland Clinic as if it is your home; and care of the community. In each of these areas, trust is a crucial factor. As an organization, and under Tom's leadership, we work to earn the trust of our patients and caregivers and community every day. Tom is also passionate about education and tireless in his support of CCLCM. We are extremely fortunate to have him as our leader.
Hello and congratulations to our 12th graduating class from the Cleveland Clinic Lerner College of Medicine. Thank you all for being a part of today's virtual celebration. Please take a moment and reflect on this milestone. You made it here as a result of your hard work, along with help from those who believe in you, your families who offer unconditional love and support, your educators who have guided you to reach your potential, and all who have invested in you, including Ms. Norma Lerner, whose vision made this school possible. You represent the future of healthcare. As a promising physician scientist, you now embark on your career at an extraordinary time. It is clinicians who have emerged as real heroes during today's pandemic, one that no other generation has experienced. So be proud. This is truly the noblest of professions. Now, more than ever, the world needs your skilled and compassionate care. Know that after your residence, you will always have a job at Cleveland Clinic to serve our patients and communities. Congratulations once again, and I wish you the very best of luck on your journey.
I am honored to present the class thank you gift to Dr. Mihaljevic and Mrs. Lerner. Dr. Mihaljevic, thank you for your support of the program and the 2020 class. As CEO of the Cleveland Clinic, your excellence in cardiothoracic surgery and leadership in establishing the Cleveland Clinic Abu Dhabi in 2015 and leading the Cleveland Clinic as CEO since 2018 has created a model for which we strive to emulate in our own ways. You began leading the Cleveland Clinic during a time of great transition for the medical school. And that transition was handled with wisdom and great leadership, and further establishing the Cleveland Clinic as a leader in medical education. It was 2 months ago that you spoke to our class as junior colleagues. You shared many of the lessons that you encountered throughout your training in Croatia, Zurich, and Boston. During this talk, you imparted important advice that we picked a career that was complex and unpredictable. The time since that day has proven the wisdom of those words. You went on to tell us to forge our own path as we are guided by the goal to be continually challenged in each stage of our careers. Our class took this to heart as we have spent our time during the quarantine creating novel research projects to better understand COVID-19, establishing novel online medical curriculum, and reaching out to support our communities at CCLCM, Case Western Reserve University, and the Cleveland Clinic. Your continued support of the program highlights the Cleveland Clinic stands that we truly are junior colleagues, valued members of the medical community. It is this relationship that sparked and nurtured the leadership demonstrated by each member of our class. Thank you, Dr. Mihalovic. Mrs. Lerner. As the representative of our class, I would like to thank you for your numerous contributions to our program. Through the work of yourself and your family, CCLCM has pioneered the restructuring of medical education. The generous endowment from you and your husband, the late Al Lerner, has ensured that CCLCM students are able to pursue excellence in medicine and research, uninhibited by the financial strains facing many physicians in training throughout the country. Your dedication to the CCLCM community is apparent from the time that you've spent with the students. Every CCLCM student has had the opportunity to meet you and share our medical goals. Many of us have shared our passion for the arts by accompanying you to the Cleveland Orchestra. Your presence has been felt at every graduation before our own, and today as we celebrate our transition to the next stage in our career, we are honored by your continued presence today. Again, I would like to thank both Dr. Mihalovic and Mrs. Lerner for their continued support of the CCLCM program and its students.
First off, thank you so much to the Lerner family and our administration for all of your support throughout the years. We certainly couldn't have done this without you. Each year, the graduating class gives a gift to commemorate our gratitude to the Lerner College of Medicine. And this year, we've chosen to give a library of books, each of which represents something personal to us during our time in medical school. I think the role of books in our lives is particularly highlighted during these uncertain times. Medical school itself can feel rather isolating, especially during the clinical rotations, and books about medicine can serve as an important reminder of our camaraderie, that we're not alone in our frustrations and feelings of burnout at times, but that these feelings don't have to be mutually exclusive from the satisfaction, purpose, and meaning we get from taking care of patients each day. Personally, I've found books about medicine to serve as a poignant reminder of really what a privilege it is to witness the breadth of humanity, from the highest joys to sometimes the deepest sadness. Books outside of medicine can help us appreciate the world that exists beyond the hospital and serve as a reminder of how important it is to not let our professional lives consume us. And simply, a good story can be a much needed escape from the routine. So in closing, I want to congratulate all of my classmates for making it this far. I hope to one day be reading a book written by one of you all in the future. Congratulations.
Dear CCLCM community, family, and friends, it is my honor to introduce the CCLCM 2020 class video. This video is a CCLCM tradition that features the graduating class reflecting on their experiences from the last 5 years. This is one of my favorite parts of CCLCM graduation. As a first year, I watched the video in awe of the accomplished fifth years. Last year, it was bittersweet to see friends graduate. Reflecting on this video of reflection, I realized that each class is different, yet share many sentiments and experiences. For example, we've come to know our classmates very well. We're grateful for all the support that we've received at CCLCM, and we're excited for what's to come. On behalf of our class, I thank the CCLCM administration for celebrating us with this video, which is truly a gift for the graduating class. I thank Ms. Andrea Beyer, Media Production, and Fusion Filmworks for making this video possible. Given that we cannot gather in person, I know I'll especially enjoy seeing the familiar faces. For those of you who are not in this video, but who have walked with us these last 5 years, the administration, faculty, staff, fellow students, family, and friends, thank you for making the last 5 years possible. To know you, to share these experiences, and to have your support is a privilege. Please enjoy the CCLCM 2020 class video.
I'd like to be the kind of doctor who's present and emotionally available for their patients.
I really hope I'm just somebody who never loses sense of that privilege and who approaches every patient interaction with a sense of being honored to be present.
I feel like I could not have had a better preparation to be a resident and an eventual physician because of CCLCM.
I feel ready to take the next step and just kind of dive in and learn what it's like to really practice medicine.
The thing that I appreciate most about the way the school is designed is everything is intentional. Everything was designed to try to provide you with the best experience possible, and having been a student and now lived that for 5 years, it's absolutely true.
I wanted to be first and foremost a really good clinician, but I also want to be a researcher and an innovator in the field, and this was a program that was designed to help get me there.
Clinicians who are researchers, I think, are critical thinkers in a way that allows them to really think about their patients differently. And I think the critical thinking allows us to make some diagnoses that might have been missed elsewhere.
It's a way to try to move the field forward and to give hope to that patient and future generations of patients as well.
Instead of having grades and tests, we get assessed by the portfolio system, and we get feedback for every time we do group work, whenever we're in clinic, work with a preceptor, any presentation, and we compile this feedback to figure out how we're doing.
You learn very quickly how to listen without being defensive. And at the same time, you learn how to articulate criticism in a way that is carefully considered.
Getting that feedback on all different areas of your professional development has, I think, made me a stronger medical student and hopefully a stronger physician.
We are very much a medical school that lives within a hospital, and I think we benefit from it immensely.
I think it really does show what a combination of research, clinical excellence, academia, and technologic advancement can look like. And getting exposed to that early in training is really valuable.
I'm always surprised at how a lot of the mentors here are very much, willing to spend their time helping you grow and develop.
I love the administration here.
They take us in, they mentor us, and they're really committed to helping us be the best that we can. I've truly felt cared for during my entire 5 years here.
There's a lot of different opportunities for students to become involved in the community outside of the Cleveland Clinic. Every year we have the Peru Health Outreach Project, where students can travel to Peru for 2 weeks and participate in health education projects at different sites there.
We do things like annual men's health fair, or like women's health fair. There's Salud, which is targeting the Hispanic populations. Just different sort of outreach to provide basic health screenings or to answer basic medical questions for people who otherwise might not have access to a hospital.
There's a lot going on here in Cleveland, and you get to be a community member as well as a medical student.
I really love the small sort of class environment here.
I think it lends itself to being just an amazingly familial community, and I think that's invaluable.
We often celebrate things that people might celebrate with their families, but with each other.
Engagements, marriages, birthdays.
We do a lot of things outside the clinic together, and it's been a really fun family to kind of explore Cleveland with.
Baseball games, concerts. We like to eat. We've spent a lot of time with each other, and we really are close.
There's just a lot to do here, and it's been really fun to have a class who's up for getting out and exploring.
Match Day is sort of the culmination of the residency application process.
It's a day I think students think about since day one of medical school.
We find out where we'll get to do training for the next 3 to 7 years, depending on what field we're going into. So we'll see.
I feel very grateful to the learners who made our school possible. I feel very honored that I got to come here and to have this unique opportunity I wouldn't have anywhere else.
The teamwork aspects, the interdisciplinary aspects, the holistic assessment of us as medical students really did lead me to be a better future physician.
I've gotten all the clinical knowledge that I need to prepare me for residency. I've gotten all the social healthcare knowledge. I know how to navigate the hospital system.
The thing about the Cleveland Clinic system, not just the medical school, is that you're part of an international health system, and you learn to think big.
Lerner is going to prepare you in ways that you can't predict, and when you get to go out and share that, it's really a tremendous gift.
You learn from people who are the best in the world, kind of beyond what you could have imagined. It's a tremendous opportunity as a medical student to work with these people and learn from them, and hopefully one day be like them.
I have the immense pleasure to introduce Dr. Robert Wilson as the faculty speaker chosen by the Cleveland Clinic Lerner College of Medicine, class of 2020. An excerpt from Dr. Wilson's biography online reads, "The teaching opportunities with students and residents truly is my selfish and joyous professional work. I have seen this to be true in all of my interactions with Dr. Wilson." Dr. Wilson allowed me to present a topic at a shared medical appointment. I was excited, but also very nervous. As we prepared to head over to clinic, he shared that even though he had been hosting these sessions for a while, he still got nervous. His candor brought my anxiety level down tenfold. During the end of session debriefing, Dr. Wilson listed several things that he had learned from my presentation. It showed me that my contributions mattered. Most of my classmates can recount similar experiences, and as one of them described, Dr. Wilson makes you feel valued and capable even when you doubt yourself. Dr. Wilson's dedication to creating a safe learning environment for both students and patients is evidenced by his involvement in the development of curriculum such as diversity and inclusion of bias and prejudice reflection in clinical practice in neurology internships. His hard work has resulted in multiple teaching awards, including the 2017 Kaiser Permanente Award of Teaching. Dr. Wilson's academic achievements are as stellar as his personality. He graduated magna cum laude with a BA from Tampa University and obtained a Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine degree from the Philadelphia College of Osteopathic Medicine. He completed an internship year at Allegheny General Hospital of Pennsylvania and a preliminary year at Abington Memorial Hospital. He went on to become chief resident of the neurology residency at the Hospital of the University of Pennsylvania. He finished his formal training with a fellowship in neuro-oncology at the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. He then held positions as an attending at the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, at St. Petersburg Neurology Clinic, and at St. Joseph's Hospital in Tampa, Florida. In 2012, he accepted a staff position in the Neurological Institute at the Cleveland Clinic. He is now Director of the Autonomic Center, Assistant Director for Neurology Clerkships, and Clinical Assistant Professor of Medicine with faculty appointments at CCLCM and Case Western Reserve University. In addition, Dr. Wilson sits on many advisory boards. He has authored several publications in peer-reviewed journals and is the lead investigator and collaborator in numerous clinical trials. Last but not least, Dr. Wilson is very much a family man. He has been married for 16 years to his wonderful husband, Richard, and together they have a talented 13-year-old son named Zach. To patients, he's a compassionate and trusted physician. To most of us, he's a mentor, a colleague, and a friend. Please help me welcome Dr. Robert Wilson.
A few weeks ago, I received an email in my daily Cleveland Clinic sea of emails that asked me to be the speaker at your graduation. I did read the email twice and maybe 3 times to make sure it was truly sent to the correct person, and it was I. First, to be your educator, I must say the words honor and privilege. Yes, those words honor and privilege are often overused and may be diluted in their meaning in our culture. But I think for anyone who is listening to this virtual graduation who has educated you, view the words honor and privilege as essential. For myself, to be here today, even at this moment, to be giving you this speech is one of the most joyous and wondrous moments of my career. It fills me with many great thoughts, experience, memories, and emotions of all of you. There is a saying that the student is perhaps the teacher to the teacher. Truly, all of you have made us better. This day is, as we all have discussed so many ways, is not the way we want to be together. But when this virtual graduation started to move forward, I had tremendous faith knowing all of you in so many different ways that we would elevate this to an opportunity moment and a brighter horizon. The speech I had for all of you initially needed replacements. We are in a time right now where there are so many words. We have often nonsense gibberish, commentaries, emails for emails, social media on steroids, and a time where doctors need to comment more and more on society than ever. And so at this moment, I think simplicity needs to resonate. And there are some simple core words I need to carry forward with all of you. And they are core elements. These are things I need to share what I see in all of you. So I thought about words that are very relevant for all of you to bring about. They're essential. And I think maybe one of the reasons why I was selected is I've been a mirror of all of you and a witness of your years at the clinic and you as people. And these core elements you have fine-tuned, cultivated, and grown to blossom during your time here. And during these next few moments, I want to talk about them and really amplify them so you can carry forward with you in your career. Stamina of the individual. This is not just the typical physical concepts of physical endurance. This is the fortitude of yourself. You know, the ability of you to commit, endure your work, your life, and to be a doctor. This is the willingness of you to sign up for the duty. You know, this is the part of you that does that research with the trials and tribulations, to commit to that patient with no easy answers, to stand by your colleague in your graduation class. There are endless examples we can give, but that's that part of you that says, you know, I'm going to stick it through from the present to the future. External self. Being a doctor, there are endless, constant deadlines, testing, notes to close, other metrics of scrutiny. Pressures are on us constantly. This can really create a person who is focused on themselves. When I've been with many of you and all of you, I've been just so impressed and touched by the ability of you to think of not of oneself. You all have moved yourself not to be about me. You have stepped out of yourself. You have said, what does my colleague need? What does that patient need? What can I do now? What does that project need in this moment? All that does is create something that's even bigger of a sense of community. You all have learned that a doctor is part of a community, and that is essential. Conscious choice. To be a doctor, we have to accumulate knowledge and skills, and that's all very good and needed. But really, there's something that's probably more of an essence of conscious choice, that reflection, that planning, and yes, that moment of what we're going to do right now, that tug inside your head and maybe of your core that says, what am I going to do? Yeah, that conscious choice is anchored by stamina of the individual, external choice, your knowledge, and also humility. Humility is that delicate balance, often has maybe not really words, but it's that sort of that balance of the doctor who understands the powerful influence with also the needing of altruistic impact. You all understand your conscious choice. And as you go forward to your career, you're going to make many, many, many conscious choices in your day. These simple core elements of stamina of the individual, external self, and conscious choice may seem to some very simple, obvious, and intuitive, but they're not. A doctor is tested daily, exhausted, frustrated, and faces such uncertainty in their daily life. Please remember, this is part of all of who you are. Cherish these elements of who you are. Take care of them. Share it, foster it, and carry forward. Maybe you'll actually pass it on to the next generation of doctors. I have tremendous faith in all of you. And remember this also. You are respected by us and highly valued. And I thank you for allowing me to be part of your day today. Thank you.
I would like to now introduce our student speaker, Elizabeth Shea. Elizabeth was chosen by her classmates to speak on their behalf at graduation.
Dr. Mihalovic, Mrs. Lerner, faculty and staff, family, friends, and the class of 2020, good evening. I'd like to start off with a quote. Dr. Thibault and our PBL facilitators will be glad to know that I have the appropriate citation, although I do concede that the source is a little dated. It's taken from Act 2, Scene 7 of Shakespeare's As You Like It. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts. Over the past few years, we've had the privilege to be a part of others' lives. We've participated in the opening scenes of the lives of the babies we've helped deliver, and the closing scenes of our patients who've had terminal illness. Today, however, the spotlight is on us. There are so many experiences and people that have brought us to this point. If someone were to write a play about our life centered on our physician journeys, it could probably be done in a 3-act play. Act 1 would be entitled, The One About Our Lives Before Medical School. For one of us in this class, becoming a physician is not just a personal achievement, but fulfillment of a dream that a mother and grandmother never had the opportunity to achieve. For a few of us, medicine is a second career, a new path after realizing that the first one was missing something. Some of us had family in medicine who served as role models and introduced us to this profession. Others of us found medicine in the books that we read or through our own experiences with physicians. Regardless of the differences in our individual stories, all of us worked hard to get here. All of us have family, friends, and mentors who've sacrificed for us. In every scene of our lives, long before medical school started, there would be a litany of characters that have played supporting roles in helping us arrive here. Our hearts are filled with gratitude towards all of you, and our achievement today is also yours. Some of our supporters are no longer with us, but we know how proud they would be of us today, and we remember their contributions to our lives as well. Act 2 would be entitled The One During Medical School. This act would begin with a call from Dr. Franco telling us that we'd been accepted here at CCLCM. We realized early on how well we got along. We had lunch together day after day. Every time it was someone's birthday, we'd all sign a card, often made by Emily, and sing happy birthday. We learned how to use our stethoscopes together. We gave and received feedback, and more feedback, and more feedback. There was Friendsgiving, a Christmas party, and Galentine's. In short, we were a close-knit class, and we learned so much about each other. For example, if Sherry asked a question, we knew it meant that something was not immediately intuitive to him. Bobby ensured that we would never, ever answer projectile vomiting if someone asked us to list the types of MSIS. It also became evident to us that there are things in life more certain than death and taxes. That is, that Alex would be an orthopedic surgeon and Rob a CT surgeon. By the end of the year, CCLCM and Cleveland felt like home, and we celebrated when the Cavs won their first championship during our summer break. And then second year came. Second year could be summarized in 2 words. Step 1. It was that infamous test that we'd heard would bring us stress, and boy did it. There were question banks to finish and videos to watch. We learned new words, and I'm not speaking of allodynia, although Dr. Wilson made sure we'd never forget that one. No, I'm referring to words like pathoma, UWorld, Anki, and perhaps the favorite, high yield. Despite all of the stress, we still had fun, and we realized that things would be okay, and that regardless of how crazy things got, John's hair would always remain flawless. Everything did in fact turn out to be fine, and before we knew it, it was time for third year. Third year was when we really felt that we were on our way to becoming physicians. We spent most of our days involved in patient care. We followed the residents around so diligently that sometimes we accidentally followed them to the restrooms. By the end of the year, many of us had decided on specialties to pursue, and we realized just how much we had learned. Fourth year came, and we remembered what it was like to wake up after the sun had risen. There were charts to review, reagents to pipette, and committee meetings to schedule. Penny, we owe you a big thank you for helping us to fulfill our thesis requirements. Also, thank you for the Girl Scout cookies, and know that we always look forward to seeing you on Fridays in second year. Fifth year was a whirlwind of final rotations and interview travel, and now finally we've arrived at the end of medical school. So much life has happened throughout our time here, and we will truly miss each other. We've forged bonds that will last the rest of our lives. The admissions committee did an excellent job of putting our class together. So great, in fact, that Harry and Anne found love in our tiny class. Bo and Brett did us the honor of producing some class children, the Nuggets, as Caroline would affectionately call them. How could we forget the class pets? Darla, Mitchell, Miso, Taro, Milo, Cooper, Calvin, Cinnamon, Rory, Carrots, Normal, Kiwi, Nelson, Peanut, Corinne, and Hot Cocoa. There have been doc opera practices and performances, basketball games, marathons, engagements, weddings, a brief obsession with Pokemon Go, and that one day all the women in our class conspired to wear pink, because on Wednesdays we wear pink. It has been a wonderful journey, and we are so thankful to the CCLCM faculty, staff, and administration for being with us along the way. Truly, we could not have done this without you. On a day like today, though, we not only look back at our past, but also forwards into the future. Act 3 would probably be entitled The One Where We Live the Rest of Our Lives. If there is anything that 2020 has taught us, it is that we should expect the unexpected. We are part of the generation known as the millennials, the generation that is stereotypically known to stay glued to its phones, the generation that would rather receive a text than a phone call. You know, the generation that does everything online. Well, graduation was the one thing we thought we had to do in person. Apparently the joke is on us, because we never could have predicted that we would graduate via video. We know that residency will bring challenges, but we've been prepared. Marie Curie once said, "Life is not easy for any of us, but what of that? We must have perseverance and above all confidence in ourselves. We must believe that we are gifted for something and that this thing must be attained. We are privileged to have been given the chance to train and become physicians at Cleveland Clinic. Our training has equipped us to make positive contributions in our new roles. Let's strive to be the best that we can be." My classmates are very accomplished and brilliant people, and it would not be a surprise if there are future Nobel laureates amongst us. We all should and will aim for excellence, but the reality is that it is highly improbable that all of us will win Nobel Prizes, and that's okay. However, every single one of us can be stars in the seemingly minor roles that life will bring us. In fact, it is sometimes these roles that people remember the most. At the beginning of my third year, I spent time in the emergency department working with Dr. Engineer. I remember asking him about one patient's hypertension, which was so obviously chronic and definitely not relevant to the situation that was at hand. He asked me if he looked like an internist. For a moment, I thought that he was completely serious, but then he smiled and proceeded to teach me about the patient. He always took the time to involve medical students in patient care. The solar eclipse of 2017 happened to fall during that rotation, and witnessing the event was on my list of things to do. Unfortunately, I'd forgotten to get solar glasses. That day, I noticed Dr. Engineer walking around and asking residents and attendings if they wanted to view the eclipse with him. Shortly after, and to my surprise, he came over and asked if I too wanted to join. A few of us followed him, and he lent us his glasses so that we could witness the eclipse. I'll never forget his enthusiasm for teaching and that moment of thoughtfulness. We all have our own stories of faculty that have taken the time to mentor us and of physicians whom we've watched treat patients with compassion. What will people say about us when we leave the room? I hope that our future medical students will say that we taught them well and that we made them feel that they belonged on our teams. I hope that our colleagues and bosses will find us to be hardworking and teachable. I hope that our patients will say that we listened and that we cared. I hope that administrative assistants, security guards, and environmental service workers will say that we appreciated them. We've all been kind to each other over the past few years, and I'm confident that we can continue to be these great people. Even when we're sleep deprived, and even when we have a shiny nameplate on the door to our own offices. Let's do our best to be the characters in someone else's story that they'll think of fondly when we exit stage left. Lastly, let's not forget to be kind to ourselves. We're all incredibly self-driven people, and sometimes we might forget that it's okay to ask for help and it's okay to take a break. In every play, the lights dim between scenes so that time can be spent to rearrange and make the next one better. If any of us ever needs extra support, we'll always have each other only a phone call or GroupMe message away. We finally made it to the end of medical school. Acts 1 and 2 of our lives have already been written, and the next few pages are blank. Let's write some great scenes and make Act 3 memorable. Thank you.
I am honored to be presenting the 2020 CCLCM Outstanding Contribution Award because it goes to a person who has truly made some of the most significant contributions in getting me here today, Dr. Richard Prayson. The recipient of this award is chosen each year by students, but here at CCLCM, we have been taught to value self-reflection and evidence-based medicine. So in true portfolio form, I have cited such reflections and evidence supporting our choice. Dr. Prayson has been a part of CCLCM since its infancy and continues to model the foundational values of our program. While many things have changed since the creation of CCLCM, and even in just the past 5 years, Dr. Prayson has been our rock. Whenever we had an unanswered question, a fear for the future, or a hankering for candy, the advice among classmates was always the same: ask Prayson. His door has been and always will be open to us, and I can speak from personal experience that even when his door is physically closed, he is just a knock, a call, or an email away from getting you the help you need. Dr. Prayson has left a unique footprint on each of our experiences as individuals and a class. He has taught us histology through song and dance. He has gone out of his way to make sure we succeed at each step throughout med school. He has been a source of support for our personal and professional growth and overall well-being. I am unconditionally grateful to have known him personally as an advisor and mentor, a teacher, and a friend. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Rich Prayson as we present him with the Outstanding Contribution Award as well as a signed class photo.
Dr. Heston is a very special person who's had a profound impact on the Lerner College of Medicine. His passion for research, teaching, and curating the next generation of physician investigators has been readily apparent since we all embarked on this journey together 5 years ago. I think we all fondly remember the familiar presence of Dr. Heston in the back of the room during our advanced research in medicine seminars throughout our preclinical years. He always seemed to have a profound and insightful question to ask the presenter that challenged all of us to not just listen, but rather think critically. I was fortunate to have also worked with Dr. Heston in several other capacities over the past few years. As a PBL leader, Dr. Heston displayed his patience, kindness, and wonderful, albeit slightly cheesy sense of humor. At the end of the block, he gave each of us a book with William Osler's A Way of Life speech, given at Yale University in 1913. In this speech, Dr. Osler, considered the father of modern medicine, emphasized the importance of focusing on the present rather than worrying about the past or future, a sentiment that is true now more than ever during these uncertain times. And I would say that Dr. Heston really embraces and epitomizes this philosophy. He's an incredibly accomplished scientist who has overcome many challenges in his life, but focuses his complete attention on the present, and luckily for us, has dedicated much of his energy and time to teaching and mentorship. Dr. Heston was also generous enough to volunteer to serve as the basic science expert on my fourth-year research thesis committee. His thoughtful and challenging questions pushed and guided me as I developed my hypothesis, plan, and interpretations. Ultimately, if I could say one thing about Dr. Heston, it is that he truly cares about his students. And so on behalf of the Cleveland Clinic Lerner College of Medicine, it is my distinct pleasure to present Dr. Warren Heston with the Award for Excellence in Research.
We remember our friend and colleague, Elaine F. Danifer, who was one of the founding faculty of CCLCM and championed our innovative portfolio system with a focus on reflective practice. This award is presented to a faculty member who exemplifies the ideals of mentoring and reflective practice at CCLCM that Elaine embodied. I'm delighted to present this year's award to John Tetzlaff. John has chaired the Medical Student Promotions and Review Committee since its inception in 2004. Congratulations, John. I would now like to introduce Dr. Christine Warren to recognize our graduates.
It is an honor to be with you today to recognize your achievements and welcome you as our newest class of physician investigators. Your journey by design has not been easy. You have been challenged by faculty, peers, and yourselves to embrace the unknown and ask insightful questions to uncover novel answers. Although the next phase of your training as a resident will offer a steep learning curve and will be overwhelming at times, I promise you that as a Lerner College student, you have acquired all the tools you need to adapt, develop, and thrive in this new environment. We look forward to hearing about all your future success, and I'm so proud to call you fellow CCLCM alumni. I would now like to acknowledge each graduate. Janet Adeboye, Internal Medicine, University of Maryland, Mercy Medical Center. Anesthesiology, Johns Hopkins Hospital. Listella Bivens, Pediatrics, University of Chicago Medical Center. Robert Borden, Thoracic Surgery, Stanford University. William Alexander Cantrell, Orthopedic Surgery, Cleveland Clinic. Harry Choi, Internal Medicine, Hospital of the University of Pennsylvania. Kika Chlor-Gronenborn, Pediatrics, Children's National Medical Center. Albert Feeney, Internal Medicine, University of California, San Francisco. Caroline Frank, Psychiatry, University of Pittsburgh Medical Center. Suresh Garudadri, Internal Medicine, Stanford University. Brittany Goldstein, Psychiatry, Northwestern McGaw. Vishwan Gopalakrishnan, Internship at Software Engineering Firm. Brett Graham, Neurology, Vanderbilt University Medical Center. Nikhil Gupta, Internal Medicine, University of Chicago Medical Center. Bo Hilton, Internal Medicine, Research Pathway, Vanderbilt University Medical Center. Severine Keiko, Neurology, Case Western University Hospital's Cleveland Medical Center. Caitlin Keenan, Neurology, Rush University Medical Center. Ann Kim, Internal Medicine, Johns Hopkins Hospital. Ann Kim, Obstetrics and Gynecology, Hospital of the University of Pennsylvania. Erica Lampert, Obstetrics and Gynecology, Cleveland Clinic. Diane Liebert, Pathology, Stanford University. Mimi Luo, Internal Medicine, University of Cincinnati Medical Center. Ophthalmology, University of Cincinnati. John McAfee, Pathology, Cleveland Clinic. Appledine Osborne, Internal Medicine, University of California, Davis Medical Center. Radhika Rastogi, Pediatrics, Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. Naveen Sabharwal, Urology, University of California, Irvine. Elizabeth Shea, Otolaryngology, Indiana University. Sherry Sheikh, General Surgery, Wake Forest Baptist Medical Center. Christina Snyder, Internal Medicine, Vanderbilt University Medical Center. Robert Unger, Internal Medicine, Case Western Metro Health System. Diagnostic Radiology, Massachusetts General Hospital. Lamont Wilkins, Urology, Johns Hopkins Hospital. David Chung, Internal Medicine, University of Pittsburgh Medical Center. Dermatology, Case Western University Hospitals. Wenda Yi, Otolaryngology, Vanderbilt University Medical Center. Emily Zhang, Otolaryngology, Cleveland Clinic. Jessica Zhang, Internal Medicine, UCLA Medical Center. Congratulations to all of our graduating students. I wish we all could have been together to celebrate, but I know all of you will continue to work hard and make us proud. I would now like to turn things back over to Dr. Isaacson.
We also want to acknowledge that 5 of our students are receiving master's degrees from CASE. Congratulations. Class of 2020, you now join the Alumni Association of the Cleveland Clinic and will receive your alumni pin in the mail. You also will receive a Cleveland Clinic folio and a representation of the Lucas Bronze, which highlights the Cleveland Clinic's dedication to patient care, education, and research. To the class of 2020, we are so proud of all of you and gratified that you will be moving on to top residency programs, including those at Cleveland Clinic. You will soon be on the front lines of care during these extraordinary times, and we know you will accomplish great things. And to everyone here tonight, thank you all for joining our virtual graduation celebration for the Cleveland Clinic Lerner College of Medicine class of 2020. And to all of you, stay well.
It's all good. 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 It's all good.
Oh yeah, now. We lead, we don't. We lead, we don't. We rockin' out with a new sound. Everybody's talking about us, but we catching feels now. Look at us go. We got the power to believe and achieve, yo. We break records like Motown, feeling the flow, stir it up from the underground. Let the people know that we're here to set them free, cause we're making history, yeah, we're making history, hey. It's a brand new day, all my friends around the way. Everybody say, we live, we don't. Sister, take my hand, oh my brother, you're the man. Everybody, yeah, we live, we don't. So hey, when you're feeling this way, turn it up to another level, seize the day, yeah. Turn it up to another level, seize the day, yeah. Follow me. Get crazy in your life now. And when the going gets tough, you better wild out. And when the haters keep talking, block it out, yeah. Big dreams in a stupor, picking people's spirits up like your Uber. We're on our way, enjoy the ride, feel the pride. When you lead, you don't. It's a brand new day, all my friends around the way. Everybody say, we live, we don't. Sister, take my hand, oh my brother, you're the man. You're my brother now. Everybody, yeah. We live, we don't. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So hey, when you're feeling this way, turn it up to another level, seize the day, yeah. So hey, when you're feeling this way, turn it up to another level, seize the day, yeah. We lead, we don't. We lead, we don't. Ooh.